Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Remember the movie Coco and the traditions of the Day of the Dead? Well, October is Family History Month, and we have a challenge for you. Welcome Olivia Jewell with the 21-day Family Connections Experiment to the show.
Thank you.
Hello, Olivia.
Thank you, thank you.
We're excited to get to know you.
Yes, we are. So tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I am Olivia Jewell. I am a mother of 4, and I live in Payson, so not too far from here.
Okay.
And I am just, well, I'm highly involved in family history. I've been highly involved in family history for years now. I teach at Roots Tech. Have you guys heard of Roots Tech?
Yes.
It's a big conference they have in Salt Lake. And then I teach at Education Week at BYU.
Okay.
And different local conferences a lot. Just basically trying to help people know that family history is not just an old people thing. It's something we can
everyone involved.
Yes, we can do it at all ages and at all walks of life. And what is really fun for me, when I teach, I always try to help people understand, like, it can be done in small amounts of time. It doesn't need to be these big, huge chunks of time, and it doesn't have to all be about dead people. It can also be about connecting with your family that's alive.
Okay.
And
see, I love that. I don't have to do 3 hours of indexing.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Now, indexing's so fun, but but for those of us who don't love it, because I'm one of those, there's so many other fun ways to do it. And so I love just teaching, like I've taught at the local Family History Center, the Spanish Fork one, and the Payson one a lot, and just, you know, just helping. Honestly, for me, it's all about helping people in my walk of life go, oh, I can totally do this, and I can have some of these awesome, incredible benefits that come from connecting with family. So yeah, that's
So generally, that love kind of stems from somewhere. Where did your love come from?
That is such a great question. So I feel like there's a big tie to the scrapbooking industry and family history. Often there's a connection there, right? Because there's like a love for photos.
Sure.
So I was working for Heritage Makers, which just a consultant, right? Not huge into it, but it was a way to make some money when I was young and new kids and whatever. And I was scanning. So I would go and I'd go to people's houses and scan their photos. And my sister was like, we should do this for all of Grandma's stuff. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a big project. And she said, let's make a book. And after a little resistance, I was like, that's a good idea. That experience just changed my heart forever, because I came to know both my grandma and my grandpa in just such an intimate way. I interviewed their siblings and their kids that were still alive, and their in-law kids, and it was so cool because I didn't know my grandpa very well, and I loved my grandma, but she had passed away a few years before. So it was just this really cool experience to make this book.
Like taking
of her
those
life.
photos and getting like the stories from it and connections. I guess.
And my heart just was totally sucked in forever. And then I had a friend invite me to do a 21-day challenge, just from actually from a BYU conference. They had issued a challenge to do 21 days of family history. I was like, I already love it. I don't need to do it. But I tried it, and it was Thanksgiving. I always tell people, like, that's the dumbest time to start a 21-day challenge. I have kids. But I did it, and afterwards I realized doing family history is not what everyone thinks it is. Like, it really is. Taking photos and documenting it, you know?
We were justifying our behavior before you came, because we're like, hey, is social media does that count to some degree?
Absolutely, like without question. Yes, absolutely. Without question. That is documenting. That's our modern journaling. You could argue that we are the best journalers of any generation.
Being the best journaler. Well, I did a goal myself. Pete has done a photo a day. So last year I was like, okay, maybe I'll do that. And I just was thinking a simple, take a picture of this, and post it. And it's become more of a journal now to me. And we were just talking about how much time I spend, but in return, I'm not really social mediaing. It's like my journaling. And now people are going back to it and saying, what did I do in March? Oh, let me look at Angie's thing.
I can look, and you can print it into books now, so that you can even have both the digital and hard copy of that. And so it's super
and you could have a private account if you didn't want it to be social media. Do it private.
Because that's what I'm kind of feeling like next year, that maybe I just continue it, but just in a private way. Take a little bit more pressure off.
Help us learn how that ties into the 21 days.
Okay, well, I will tell you. So COVID hits, right? And it's March or April, and I'm just like, blah, we were all miserable, right?
Yes.
And I just was like, I kept having that thought, just do the 21-day challenge. And this one morning I woke up, I was like, do the 21-day challenge, invite all your friends, and measure the benefits. And I was like, what? that doesn't make sense, but all of a sudden it just started coming together. So basically what we did in literally less than 2 weeks, we put together a team of people who were crazy like me and loved it and just wanted to spread the word. We got a website up and invited everyone in May to do it and to try and experiment with us. We thought we'd get a couple hundred people. We ended up with 5,500 participants.
Wow.
And we only had like a week between our first, like meeting where we told people about it and launch. So it was insane. And so because we had such huge results, so they take a survey at the beginning and basically just measure where you're at mentally, like depression, just mental well-being in general, just some very basic questions. And then you do 21 days of connecting, and we have plans. We have an idea generator that's new this time that I'm super excited about, because you can come to the website anytime and you can just get a quick, less than 5-minute idea of how to connect with your family, past or present. So there's just tons of really great resources for helping you connect during those 21 days. So you're not on your own, like it's just all these different tools. And then you come back at the end and take that final survey, and then we can measure, okay, did this 21 days help? Now, is it perfectly scientific? No, but it's close, right?
Yeah.
It's close enough. It's close enough to say, hey, there's some benefits here. So, so basically, it was such a big success the first time we decided we wanted to do it for October with Family History Month.
So do we start right on October 1st?
Yes.
Or, well, I guess you can start anytime,
yes.
right? But for this specific challenge on the website, you need to start.
And do you check in, or how is that measured?
Great. Yes, so so we leave it up all the time. We've decided like we're just gonna keep it up because it's a great resource at all times. Anyone can do it at any time with anyone, any group or whatever. But yes, we're gonna do the group experiments every so often. Right now, we can't commit. We're all volunteers, which Tara Lynn, she's the one who kind of set this up. Yes. She is Spanish Fork native and she loves it. And so we're just local girls that just got together and loved it. Right. So it's just fun, and it's spread to the world, you guys. We had 76 different countries hit the website. We had thousands and thousands of views. It was insane, but it's just one of those things where it's like, we need it right now. And with everything that's going on, the connections are just so valuable. You know what I mean? And there's still a lot of people around the world that are still on quarantine, like solid quarantine, you know? So anyway, so you start on October 1st. If you come to our website, it's connections-experiment.com. So connections-experiment.com. And then it walks you through it really fast. It's just like, click I'm in, and then you take the survey. We invite you to join the social channels because we have fun challenges and interviews throughout it just to keep you engaged, keep you connecting. So you have your community that you're connecting with your family and your friends, but then you also have our community that gives you that connection too. And it was so much fun.
I could just tell you're passionate about it, like you're making me
contagious.
Like, I need to get on my phone.
Get on there. You do that right
I gotta look at it.
And tell all your friends and family, because it is so much more fun to do it together. And we have so many cool interactive things. That's the thing. People hear about it and they're like, how can I help? Let me help. And so we have all these cool tools. We have a 17-year-old who just jumped on and was like, I did it last time, I'd love to help. And she heard we needed an app and we were like, we can't afford it. I mean, we're just volunteers, right? And she was like, I can make an app. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. So she's just been Googling and she figured it out, and it's gonna be live on Thursday.
The younger generation really are fabulous.
Don't you love it?
They get it. Yep.
I know. I was like, I love it.
Her time and talents for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the app?
So I don't actually remember. We don't have it on the app store yet. So go to our website and we'll have a link there soon.
Okay, perfect.
By Thursday it should be up. So, but that's how it rolls. There's just so much passion behind it. We all just, you know what I mean? It's just so fun.
It's just rolling big. I love that.
Yeah.
So is it just for fun? Is there a cost involved?
No.
Is it no
it's
cost?
Totally free.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually got a couple partners this time to help us cover costs because it is starting to get expensive because we have a lot of pretty graphics. We have amazing graphics.
It's beautiful. Graphics.
Did you see them?
I want to ask you, what's like a really cool story that you've either experienced or heard from someone else that just like touched your heartstrings? Yeah.
So at the end of the experiment, I went through and I read all of the comments because we asked like what kind of, and what I felt like was like, there were a handful of huge ones, but my overall, what I loved was hearing from just different people who said, this changed how I was, like a mom, for instance, said, my kids would be fighting every day during COVID. And when we would sit down and work on the family plan together, every time it ended in laughter and happiness. Like we were connecting and it was so exciting. And those little ones, like those were super powerful to read for me because I put a lot of hours into making it. And not just me. I mean, there was a team, there was about 8 or 10 of us that just worked around the clock last time, and we've been doing it this time too. But it's so rewarding, and when you hear those, it's just amazing. But I would say what's been the coolest is when you mention that we're measuring the psychological benefits. I can't tell you how many people have been like, I'm in, I'm all in, I'm 100% in because, and then they'll have, like one of our team members had a friend commit suicide, and she was like, that family history was what got me through it, connecting with my family. One of our team members had PTSD from some things in her life, and family history was what got her through it. Just those connections, you know, the power. And so to me, like, that's the goal. If we can help people, just try it. Like, the term family history seems like scary and like, ooh, that's something that old people do. But just try connecting, like even with your living family, you know.
There's obviously a lot of spiritual connections here. Just like that, your heart connecting from generations, you know, this way, posterity this way.
Pulling what they've been through and seeing how that relates maybe to your current situation. And maybe that's what's helpful in getting people through hard things.
Yes, I love
you're
that.
Awesome.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
To just have this great idea. I love talking
to volunteer people that just people have that, passion
and go for it.
You can feel the passion.
Yeah,
and just even think of that Coco story. I love it. Can't wait to learn more.
Yeah, well, come try it. Come do it with us. We would love to have you.
I'm on board.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Olivia.
I did my job. Thank you for having me, you guys. You guys rock.
Next on Studio Chatter, we'll talk about an immediate need that you may be able to help with. Stay with us.